Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Coulter Stevens, about Coulter Stevens waking up one day in a different man's identity. It's actually part of a government assignment to catch a bomber who is supposedly going to blow up Chicago using a government program called the Source Code, which allows Coulter Stevens to go back to the last 8 minutes of someone's life. Oh, yes, I did it, you just witnessed me doing it.
'Cause some things just don't change. It's better when they stay the same. Although the whole world knows your name, so on the biggest stage they came to see you spit your game.
Source Code, I went to go see it on opening day, which I often do. But this movie I was really hoping would be very good, and honestly it sucked. Horrible. I cannot believe what I just witnessed. It was the worst movie I have ever seen my whole entire life. I'm not even kidding. Okay, yes I am. April Fools! The movie was amazing. Go see it. In all seriousness, the movie was very good. It was a very solid film, I think, overall. I'll go in depth with that in just a minute, but I want to say, before watching this movie, if you have seen Inception and you can't follow it, this movie will be a little bit easier to follow. Like, if you've seen Inception, movies like that, you know, they're kind of confusing. If you've seen like time travel movies, for sure, if you've seen movies like that and you got confused, this movie is a tad bit better, but expect to be confused if you're confused by those movies easily. I just want to go ahead and say that. Yes, I want to go over my main points, as always, so let's go ahead and start off. The story was amazing, I thought, all the way through. I'll talk about some stuff in the spoiler section, but, some opinions, I thought. But yes, it's basically, you've all seen the trailers about a guy who has to go get a bomb on a train. It was a very unique story, I'd say, but there is a big plot twist. Or not really twist, when you find out what's really going on, you know, kind of like unknown. A very good plot halfway through. The story overall, I really did like it. I really did enjoy it, but I think that, you know, probably they really do reveal things, and it's kind of guessable near the end. But the very ending, I'll talk about that more. I felt like it was getting to the whole entire way through, except for the very end, like the last line of monologue, I felt was kind of off, you know. Unless I'm not getting it right, then someone can hint me or something. So I don't want to give away any big story points, but it was very good. If you're just going to go see action stuff, this is not an action movie. But there's a lot of mind, trying to trick the other person, trying to catch them. Kind of like, you know, you can't kill the guy. You can't kill everybody on the train because then you won't know who it is. But, you know, stuff like that. But I gotta say, it's kind of like a murder mystery game. But you probably will guess it eventually. Like, I guessed it on my first try, but who's bragging? Now let's go to the acting. Jake Gyllenhaal, of course. I haven't really seen him in much. All I know is that his sister's Maggie Gyllenhaal. But he was very good in this movie. Again, I haven't really seen him in much, but I definitely gotta start watching out for him. The only other thing I know him from is Love and Other Drugs, but I didn't even go see that movie. It looked kind of stupid. He did very good. The way he reacted to things, the way he had to go through the sequences. All the actors, actually, they had to go through the sequences, you know, kind of like redoing it, which is a good thing I liked about this movie, because they shot it in different ways and did it different styles every single time. So the actors reacting to that was fantastic. The acting there, at least, because, you know, they didn't have to just use the old footage. Jake Gyllenhaal did very good. If he's not at least nominated for the Oscar, I'm going to be very mad. He probably won't, but I really hope he does, because so far this movie is probably the best Oscar-worthy film I have seen the whole year. At least that's what I think. Next is Michelle Monaghan as Christina Warren. She did okay. She actually did somewhat good. In the first little line she made, I was kind of like, okay, this kind of sucks. But she actually did pretty good. Getting near the end of the film, I thought. So, I think she did good. I'm not going to go in depth with these characters because they were kind of side characters. Then there was Vera Farmiga as Colleen Goodwin. She did very good, actually. I don't know why she's third pegged, I guess, but I feel like she should be second pegged, even though I guess she is the third main character, but she was very good. she seemed a lot like a robot at some parts. You know, she didn't really seem like a real person, but I think that throughout the course of the movie, it kind of shows that she's not a robot and she's actually like a real person, you know, because it seems like she was just an AI in the beginning. That's what I thought she was, but she wasn't. So she did very good. Next is Jeffrey Wright as Dr. Rutledge. I haven't really seen him in much either. I feel like he's in something. I really do, but he, his acting, now I'm not saying it's bad at all, but I think it's probably the less best. I'm trying to make it sound like it's not bad. It wasn't the worst acting in the movie, but out of the four main characters, his was probably the least greatest, as in it was the lacking the most, because, you know, he did very good at some parts. Like, some parts he was amazing, but other parts he was just kind of, you know, kind of like going overboard with, like kind of going over the top a little bit in some parts, I thought. But in other parts he did really good, kind of redeem himself. So I think he did good in this movie, but not as good as like the other characters. So next I want to go ahead and talk about the music very quick. The score. This movie, it might not get nominated for the Oscar for Best Picture because of the music. It did not match up. I don't know who did the score. I don't know who scored it. I think it was, I forgot his name, but it was something Bacon. Don't ask me why I remember that. Anyway, yes, he completely scored the movie, and I felt like the music was okay at some parts, but for most of the movie, especially in the beginning, it just didn't match up right, I thought. It really did not match up like it should have. But some parts were kind of good. Music-wise, some parts, though, you know, some. And now I want to go ahead and talk about the effects. The effects were amazing. Not going beyond there. The big thing was when the train explodes multiple times. Good effects. I don't want to go any further because it'll probably go on for 20 minutes. How long has this video been going on? It's been going on for 7 minutes. Now I want to talk about some spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie, please get out of here because this is a fantastic movie and it's already out. So go ahead and go see it and come back and watch it. You know, it's not going to kill you losing an extra 3 or 4 minutes of spoiler time. So please don't watch this because you're going to be very disappointed. Hopefully everyone's gone, unless they want the movie spoiled for them, and then if they do, you are stupid. So, I'm going to go ahead and say what I thought was happening, what was going to happen. I thought the dome barrier he was in, I thought that he was like underwater. I don't know why. It just seemed like he was underwater. And then my mom, actually, she told me, when she saw it, she told me that she thought it was on the moon. So I don't know, we're usually good at guessing that stuff, but I would have never thought that they were actually accessing his mind because he was dead. That was genius. The writers really broke through on this one because that was genius, and I did not see it. My face was seriously like that, and I was like, what is going on when they first said, you are dead? And I was like, what is... I don't know. That was fantastic, and one more thing is, you know the shot where they're all like walking, like when they're walking underneath the beam, and you see the reflection, you like see them all walking and stuff. I had no idea what that was in the trailers, and I was the most confused person ever. And then seeing it at the end, I really felt like that was very misplaced in the trailer. Like, it was kind of cool to show how important life is, but overall, no. They should not put that in the trailer, but it was a very good effect. I'd say very, very good effect. There are things I could talk about this movie for like hours and hours and hours, but I really don't want to make this review longer than like 12 minutes. So I want to go ahead and say Source Code, very good movie. If you have not seen the movie, go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it. If you did see it, leave me in the comments. Tell me what you thought of it. Tell me what you thought about the whole entire brain activating thing. I thought that was very smart. Tell me what you thought about the effects. Tell me what you thought about Jake Gyllenhaal's acting. And just overall, tell me what you thought of the movie. Give me a 5-star rating. This was I would say probably like 4.5, maybe 5-star for me. It's definitely the best movie I've seen all year. Definitely. Best movie I've seen all year, for me. Paul was in the running, but this beats it. So anyway, go ahead and subscribe for more news and reviews, and go ahead and thumbs up, thumbs down, and I guess for right now, that's all you need to know about Source Code. It's still going, isn't it? Epic. Source Code is Duncan Jones's newest movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Coulter Stevens and it is the freaking Flood Jack. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Colonel. Source code is Duncan. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Coulter Stevens, a U.S. helicopter driver, when he mysteriously and it's about. God, why? Source code is Junkin. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Colonel. Source code is Captain Coulter Stevens. What? Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Coulter Stevens, and as he is the person. Oh my gosh, why am I so bad at this? Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Coulter Stevens, about a man who mysteriously wakes up in another man's identity when it turns out it's actually part of a project where a man can go into the last 8 minutes of another man's life and try to change the future. Did I do that right? Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Coulter Stevens, about a man who mysteriously wakes up one day in another man's body, which turns out to be a government program to catch a bomber using a program called the Source Code Oh my god! This is a mouthful. I'm not even kidding. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie about a man named Jake Gyllenhaal. The end. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie. Source code is Duncan Jones' newest movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Captain Coulter Stevens, about Coulter Stevens waking up one day in a different man's identity. It's actually part of a government assignment to catch a bomber who is supposedly going to blow up Chicago using a government program called the Source Code, which allows Coulter Stevens to go back to the last 8 minutes of someone's life. Oh, yes, I did it! I did it! You just witnessed me doing it. Guys, I'm going to go over my main points. I don't know how many points I have. What the hell was that? I don't even know. Yes, big